Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. This time, we're diving into the world of dogs. Specifically, we're trying to figure out why our dogs seem to choose us. You know what I mean? Like, is it just about the treats, or could there be more to it?
You bet there's more to it. I mean, it's got to be something deeper going on, right? That connection you feel with your dog is not just because you feed them.
Exactly. And that's what's so fascinating. Like, we've got a ton of research here that suggests dogs are basically emotion detectives. Like, they can actually sense how we're feeling.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
All those subtle signals, those little changes in our voice and body language, well, they pick up on it all. Like, did you know research shows they can actually smell those changes in our body chemistry? You know, when we're feeling down or stressed.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying they're not just reacting to, like, a frown or a tearful voice? They can literally smell sadness.
Yeah. It's amazing. Think about how incredible a dog's sense of smell is. It's like a superpower. So it makes sense they'd be picking up on all these subtle cues we might not even be aware of.
Okay, so let me get this straight. If my dog comes over to, like, comfort me when I'm feeling down, it's not just because they've learned that behavior over time. They're actually sensing my emotional state through scent.
That's what the research suggests. Yeah, it's like they're wired to empathize with us. It's pretty incredible.
Wow. Have you ever noticed that with your own dog? Like them sensing your mood?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sometimes I'll just be feeling stressed out, and my dog will come over and sit by my side quietly, just kind of hanging out. It's like they know, like
Yeah.
I need some extra support or something. And that ability to sense our emotions, well, it's more than just a passive thing. It actually kind of forms the foundation for a deeper connection, I think.
So it's like a two-way street. We're communicating all the time without even realizing it?
Exactly. It's this whole silent language thing going on. It's not just words, it's gestures, postures, all sorts of nonverbal cues.
Whoa. Back up a sec. So you're saying they're picking up on things like how I move or my posture. I mean, I never really thought about it like that.
It's true. Like if you point to something you want them to fetch, or even just how you hold yourself when you're feeling confident or unsure,
Yeah.
they're watching, absorbing all that information. It's like they're little spies.
That's kind of freaky, but also super cool. Like, we're constantly sending out these signals that we don't even realize, and they're picking up on it all.
It's mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
And it's just another layer of that whole communication system thing that makes our bond with dogs so special.
All right, so we've got dogs sensing our emotions, understanding our body language. It's like they've got us figured out, huh?
They might know us better than we know ourselves, sometimes. But there's another piece of this puzzle that's really important, and that's early bonding. Those early experiences a dog has, particularly as a puppy, they can have a huge impact on how they bond with us later on.
So you're talking about, like, how much they play and the affection they get as puppies, like if they were socialized well, stuff like that.
Exactly. Those early interactions shape their ability to form strong, healthy attachments. Like if you got your dog as a puppy, those first few weeks and months were all about building that foundation of trust and connection.
Makes sense. But what about those of us who adopted older dogs? Does that mean we missed out on that crucial bonding period?
Not at all. Every interaction you have with your dog, even if they're older, it still builds on those early experiences they had. Every cuddle, every walk, every game of fetch, it all contributes to that feeling of shared experience, and it strengthens that bond between you. And this is where it gets even more interesting. Ready for this? Our scent, it seems to play a huge role in how dogs bond with us.
Whoa. Wait a minute. You're saying it's more than just that, wet dog smell that we all secretly love.
Right, it's way more than that. Studies have actually shown that a human scent can actually be like an emotional anchor for a dog. It's crazy. It's full of all those familiar smells, hormones, all that stuff triggers feelings of comfort and security for them.
That actually explains something I've been doing forever. When I leave an old t-shirt in my dog's crate, he's always so much calmer when I'm gone. It's like a little piece of me is still there with him.
That's a perfect example, and it makes you wonder, right? If scent is that powerful, could there be something to that whole love at first sniff idea? Could there be an instant connection just based on smell alone?
Okay, now you're blowing my mind. Is there any actual science behind that feeling some people get when they meet a dog? Like that, this is my dog kind of feeling.
There's some research that suggests it's possible. Some dogs just seem to click with certain people right away, like right off the bat. It's like there's this invisible spark between them.
I know exactly what you mean. Think about that first meeting with your own dog. Did you feel that love at first sight thing? Like, what signs made you think this is the one?
Maybe it was intense eye contact, or tail wag that wouldn't quit.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just that feeling of like calm and ease when you're around them, like you just get each other.
It's almost like, in a way, the dog is choosing us just as much as we're choosing them.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another fascinating thing about this whole bond. Curiosity. We always think of dogs being curious about their environment, right?
Yeah.
Sniffing everything, exploring everything. But it turns out their curiosity, it extends to us too. To humans.
So they're not just sniffing around randomly, they're actually checking us out, like studying us.
You got it. They're observing our facial expressions, our reactions, even like the tiniest shifts in our mood and behavior. It's like they're trying to figure us out. Like, who are these people and what makes them tick?
I know that feeling. Have you ever had that moment where your dog is just staring at you intently, like they're trying to read your mind or something?
All the time. And it's incredible to think they're not just relying on us for food and walks, they genuinely want to understand us. It's like they're building a relationship with us based on, I don't know, mutual curiosity and connection.
It's like they're little furry anthropologists, studying the strange habits of their human companions.
It's amazing, isn't it? How they just want to be a part of our lives and connect with us on such a deep level. And it reminds me of something you mentioned earlier about your dog picking up on your moods. Like if you're stressed, he gets anxious and clingy. That's actually a classic example of what researchers call emotional contagion.
Emotional contagion, that sounds intense. What does that even mean?
It's basically this idea that dogs are so attuned to us, so in sync with us, that they literally absorb our emotional energy. Like if we're stressed, they feel it. If we're happy and relaxed, they mirror that. It's like we're passing our moods back and forth.
So hang on a sec. You're telling me it's not just about giving him treats and belly rubs. We actually got to be mindful of our own energy too, because it's impacting our dog's well-being. Like if I'm stressed out all the time, my dog's going to feel that too.
You got it. It's a powerful reminder that this bond, this connection we have, it goes both ways. We have a responsibility to create a positive environment for our dogs, just as they enrich our lives in so many ways.
It's like a partnership on a two-way street where we got to take care of each other. We lift them up and they lift us up.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing, really. And speaking of lifting each other up, there's this research that really resonated with me about the importance of shared experiences, especially positive ones. It's like building a photo album of happy memories together, you know?
That's so true. Think about all those special moments you've shared with your dog. A fun day at the park, snuggling on the couch, even those silly moments that make you both laugh. Those shared experiences, they create a history, a narrative that deepens that bond, right?
Exactly. It's those moments that make the relationship so special. The adventures, the quiet companionship, even the inside jokes you might share with your dog.
It's like, they're not just pets. They're family. They're our partners in crime. And as we're making all these memories, routine plays a surprisingly big role, too, wouldn't you say? I mean, it might seem mundane, but those everyday rituals actually create a sense of security for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know how we talk about the importance of routine for dogs? Like how it makes them feel safe and secure? Well, it's not just about keeping things organized for us. Those walks, meal times, even bedtime routines, they're all sending a message to our dogs. A message of stability and security. They know what to expect, and that builds trust.
So you're telling me my dog actually likes my boring old schedule?
You bet. They thrive on predictability.
Yeah.
Knowing when they're going to be fed, walked, played with, it reduces their anxiety and helps them feel more emotionally stable.
So it's like a win-win, right? We get our routine and they get peace of mind. Everybody's happy.
Absolutely. It's all about creating a safe and predictable world for them, which is, essential for their well-being. It lets them just relax and enjoy being part of the family.
And all of this, the emotions, the communication, the shared memories, it all kind of culminates in those clear signs of, doggy devotion. Like, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Those tail wags, those sloppy kisses, the way they just lean into you for pets, it's all part of it. It's proof of how deep their affection goes. And get this, we actually have a whole bonus round of adorable behaviors that experts say are telltale signs of canine love.
Oh, I love bonus rounds. Lay it on me. What kind of behaviors?
Okay, so for starters, those gentle nibbles they give, like doggy kisses. Well, believe it or not, those are actually a sign of affection.
You're kidding. I always thought they were just like being mouthy.
Nope. It's their way of showing trust in that they're enjoying themselves. It's their version of a love bite, but way gentler.
that's so sweet. I'm definitely going to look at those doggy kisses in a whole new light now. What else?
Well, don't underestimate the power of undivided attention. Even when there's all kinds of distractions going on, if their focus is locked on you, well, that says a lot. You're their world.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, even if the TV is on or there's other people around, if they're just focused on you, you know you've got their heart.
Exactly. It's like you're the most interesting thing in the room, no matter what else is going on.
Now that's true love. What other signs should we be looking out for?
Well, dogs who've developed a really strong bond with their humans often show protective instincts. They might, stand between you and a stranger, or just be extra alert when you're out and about. It's their way of saying, I got your back.
That's pretty cool. It's like having your own personal bodyguard, but way cuter.
Exactly. And of course, there's the classic sign of canine affection, constant companionship. Dogs who are deeply bonded with their humans, they just want to be near them all the time. They're your shadow, following you from room to room.
Oh, tell me about it. I can't even go to the bathroom without my dog following me.
It's because they love being around you. It's as simple as that. And it's pretty amazing when you think about it. Humans and dogs, we're so different. But we found this way to connect on such a deep level,
It really is a remarkable bond. And it makes me wonder,
You know what?
if dogs are so attuned to us, choosing us based on all those subtle cues and stuff. It's kind of crazy to think about. Could it be that they're choosing us as much as we're choosing them?
It really makes you think, huh? But for now, let's get back to all those amazing ways dogs seem to just get us. We were talking about how they pick up on our scent, our emotions, even our routines. But it's not a one-way street, is it? We impact them too.
So we influence them and they influence us. It's like this constant feedback loop or something.
Exactly. And that's why it's super important to be, mindful of how we are in the relationship. Think about it. If you're stressed out or anxious all the time, your dog's going to pick up on that vibe. And it can totally mess with their behavior, even their happiness,
Whoa, seriously. So taking care of our own mental and emotional well-being, that's actually a form of dog care too.
100%. A happy human often equals a happy dog. And one of the best ways to create that positive environment is through play.
Oh yeah, play. The universal language of fun. Whether it's fetch, tug-of-war, or just some good old-fashioned wrestling. It's good for both of us, right?
You know it. And it's not just about physical exercise either. Playing with your dog, it strengthens that bond,
Yeah.
builds trust, and releases all those feel-good endorphins, the happy chemicals. Makes both of you feel better.
It's like hitting the reset button on a stressful day, you know what I mean? A good play session, man, it can really melt away tension and remind you why you love those furry goofballs so much.
Totally. And it gives you a chance to, connect with your dog on their level.
Yeah.
Tap into that pure joy and energy they have. It's contagious.
All this talk about play and connection and understanding, it makes me think maybe the whole "why did our dogs choose us" question is kind of self-centered.
How so?
Well, we're coming at it from our human perspective. We're assuming there was this big decision-making process going on in the dog's head. Maybe it's more about those little interactions, The trust and affection building gradually, that leads to this incredible bond.
You're onto something there. It's not so much a choice, but a journey, a path you're both on together.
Whoa, that's deep. You're growing together, learning from each other, evolving as a unit or something.
Precisely. And every step of that journey, from that first meeting to all those little moments of connection, it strengthens that bond, makes the love grow deeper.
Man, dogs, they really are something special.
Yeah.
So any practical tips for our listeners out there, on how to strengthen that bond with their furry best friend?
Sure. First things first, consistency is key. Remember how we talked about routine? Dogs love that. Sticking to a predictable schedule for feeding, walks, and playtime, it just makes them feel safe. And when they feel safe, that trust and love just grows stronger.
It's like saying, I'm here for you, buddy, no matter what.
Right. And along with that, try to carve out some dedicated one-on-one time with your dog. Put the phone down, turn off the TV, and just be present with them. Cuddle on the couch, go for a walk, whatever they enjoy. That undivided attention means the world to them.
So quality time over quantity. Got it. And of course, play. Never underestimate the power of play.
You said it. It's not just about tiring them out. It's a way to connect with your dog on a much deeper level, Tap into that playful side of them, have fun together, let loose a little.
It's like a stress reliever for both of you. Win-win.
Absolutely. And remember, play doesn't have to be complicated. A simple game of fetch or tug of war does the trick. even hiding treats around the house for them to find. Keep them engaged, let them be dogs.
Love it. But it's also important to remember every dog is different, right? What one dog loves, another might not be so into. Pay attention to your dog's cues and adjust accordingly.
For sure. If your dog seems overwhelmed or stressed by a certain activity, don't push it. Maybe they'd prefer a gentle brushing session to a rowdy game of fetch. Respect their preferences, and you'll find what works best for both of you.
It's all about tuning into their needs, just like they tune into ours, being a good listener.
And don't forget the basics. Good food, fresh water, regular vet checkups, and a comfy, safe environment. Those are the foundation of a healthy and happy life for any dog.
Right. Can't forget about the fundamentals. And a happy, healthy dog is way more likely to form strong bonds, right?
Exactly. Speaking of love, don't be shy about showing your dog how much you care. A gentle pat, a scratch behind the ears, or a big hug. Physical touch goes a long way in building that connection.
Oh, and those doggy kisses, those totally count as affection.
You bet. Embrace those sloppy smooches. It's dog language for I love you.
Ah.
And one last thing, remember that patience is key. Building a strong bond takes time and effort. There will be ups and downs, frustrations, times when you feel like you're not getting it right.
But don't give up. The rewards of that deep, loving connection are worth it, right?
A million times over. It's a journey worth taking.
Yeah.
Every step of the way.
And as you go on this journey with your furry friend, remember to cherish those little moments, big or small. The quiet companionship, the silly things that make you laugh, the unwavering loyalty they give you. It's what makes this bond so special.
And who knows, maybe one day science will unlock all the secrets of the canine mind and we'll finally understand why they choose us.
Yeah.
But until then.
Tell me. I was going to say, we've talked so much about how dogs understand us and how they choose us based on all these cues they pick up on. But what if it's not just a one-way street,
I'm listening. Tell me more.
What if in choosing us, they also, change us? What if their loyalty, their love, their ability to just live in the moment, what if that teaches us something about ourselves, about what it means to be human?
Whoa, that's deep. I think you've hit on something really important here. Dogs don't just, add to our lives. They actually change us. For the better.
Yeah, they teach us patience and compassion,
Yeah.
And how to appreciate the simple things. They remind us to play, to be silly, to just be present.
Maybe they even help us become a little bit more dog-like ourselves.
I love that. A little bit more playful, a little more forgiving, a little bit more in the moment.
And a little more grateful for the unconditional love and companionship they give us. As much as I love nerding out on all this research, it makes me think about all the dogs out there who haven't had a chance to form these bonds.
You're talking about shelter dogs.
Yeah, exactly. Millions of dogs all over the world, just waiting for their forever homes. They're just as capable of love and loyalty as any other dog, but they haven't had the chance to experience it with a human.
It's heartbreaking to think about all those dogs missing out on that. What can our listeners do to help, to help these dogs find their perfect match?
Well, if you're thinking about adding a furry friend to your family, definitely consider adoption first. Go visit your local shelter or rescue organization, You might just meet your new best friend there.
It's so true. And even if you're not ready to adopt right now, there are still ways to help. You can volunteer at a shelter, foster a dog, or donate to organizations that support animal welfare. Every little bit counts.
Yeah, and spread the word. Tell your friends and family about the amazing dogs in shelters who need homes. You never know who might be looking for a new furry companion.
Well, we've covered a lot today, from scent communication to the power of play, from the science of bonding to the importance of adoption. It's been an incredible deep dive into the world of dogs.
It really has. I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to, appreciate that special bond they have with their dogs and to really see how much they enrich our lives.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. The poet Anatole France once said, "Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened." I think that really captures the power of this bond,
Absolutely. Dogs have a way of, opening up our hearts. They teach us about unconditional love, remind us of the simple joys. It's a beautiful thing.
So true. Give your furry friend an extra hug tonight. Take a moment to appreciate the incredible gift of their companionship.
And if you haven't experienced the joy of having a dog in your life yet, think about opening your heart and your home to a dog in need. You never know, they might just choose you in ways you never expected.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everybody. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep cherishing those special bonds that make life so amazing.